Oh, it's recording? Oh. Hey, my name is Matt. How long have you been there? My name is Matt. This is Brandon A. Denson, and we have been very fortunate here to work with a company called GLOWCOSE. And they make a little device that looks like this. Thank you. And so, what Brandon and I have had the opportunity to do is have these in our lives. And I'm going to let Brandon tell you a little bit about what this is.
So as you see this glowing orb, this is a really interesting piece of equipment. It allows you to actually know your blood sugar without actually knowing your blood sugar. And it comes in handy, I know for me personally, just because I have a tendency of checking my app uh, for my CGM through my phone and always like kind of chasing a number. I think a lot of us do, whether we're caregivers or we're the individual living with diabetes. We always kind of want to see what that real time number is. Looking at this gives me the opportunity to know what my number is without actually opening my phone. I know in the middle of the night that can be like a pain in the rear because I don't necessarily really sleep with my phone right on the bed. It's like off to the side. But I know being able to look over and look at the glucose, it just gives me that peace of mind that I can see a color and know what range my blood sugar is in based on the color. So it really helps me out a lot. It keeps my screen time down because let's be honest, anytime you open up the phone, that's screen time, and then you're going into specific apps, that's screen time, and then it also keeps me away from like getting on social media and things like that because I'm opening the phone or checking my email and things like that, especially in the middle of the night. But I mean, even throughout the course of the day, it's been able to help me while I'm just whether excuse me, whether I'm editing film, whether I'm working on things, like it's just cool to be able to like look over and I'm like, oh, okay, it's blue, okay, all
Yeah.
right, I know where I'm at.
Yeah. And I think it's what's most helpful is when you are doing something that you may not either want to put your hands, you don't want to put things down, you don't want to exchange hands. If you work with your hands as somebody like myself who's an artist, who feels like, the way I am holding and maneuvering myself around my space, it's very important to me. It's really important not to disrupt that. So if I have an opportunity to continue my flow and then at the same time still take a look over and find out what my blood sugar is without having to do so much more than move my head, it feels really good because forever, I don't have my watch on right now. So if I don't have my Apple Watch on, then I can't look at my blood sugar without going on my phone. And like Brandon said, screen time really isn't something that comes up too often in the diabetes community, as far as I have seen. Um, but I think it is something that should be coming up more. And the reason that it's so important is mental health. If you are constantly on your phone looking at your blood sugar, which is the gateway to social media, because now that you're on your phone and you close your blood sugar and you go, yeah, well, I'm 182. I took a little insulin. I know I'm coming down. I wonder what's going on Instagram. Yeah, we are not trained medical professionals. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
If you haven't figured out by now, I hold no certification from any medical school.
But we are subject matter experts.
I mean, I've been living with diabetes for 18, almost 19 years. Coming up.
So probably longer than some people went to school for to study. Interesting.
Yeah. They can say words that I can't and I don't know how to spell.
But you can give it to them based off of feelings.
Can give it to them based off feelings. I know how I'm feeling.
No, but I'll say another thing,
But
and
well, people would want to fight me because I feel like that's like I agree and I disagree.
yeah,
Not to like break out it, but I agree and I disagree. Like I agree that yeah, as far as experience goes,
yeah.
they've got nothing on us. But at the same time, like when it's someone's like, "How many books about diabetes have you read?" I'm like, none, one.
One,
Like
I can say one.
I've got two now in my possession. One being yoga therapy for diabetes. Good good acquaintance through the internet who hopefully one day I get to meet in person. Evan Soroka Sheep put together this diabetes therapy book, and then I've got the Mastering Diabetes book as well. I would like to read those, but outside of that, like people, they know pretty much what they're talking about.
Yeah,
It's the application of what it is that they're talking about that I feel like appropriately I could say,
it resonates with you.
yeah, they
Yeah,
don't know how to apply what it is that they learned in your life because they don't have the experience of those things overlapping.
yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, right. They don't they don't know. They don't know.
They don't know what they don't know, man. And it's a it's a respect thing. I think a lot of doctors, they respect us, but at the same time, sometimes they're like, oh, well, you didn't go to school for this. Well, you also aren't living in my body and can really understand what I feel or what I go through, other than you reading that in a text. You know what I mean? So
So to that point, right, they can't tell you how you have to see something.
exactly.
Um, well, I want to make sure that we are fully explaining everything here. We brought up the name of this. It'll be likely somewhere below us. This is called the GLOWCOSE, and the GLOWCOSE is available or should be available right now. If not, there is still information up on the site about how to get notified once it does launch. This product will be available for purchase in the United States directly from the GLOWCOSE webpage. And so what happens is I have a Dexcom on my right arm that is connected to SugarMate, and SugarMate is feeding that information from my Dexcom to the Wi-Fi at this house, and this is connected to the Wi-Fi. So I'm having information from my Dexcom on my arm right here, go to my phone, which is in my right pocket, relay off of the router behind me, go up into the internet, SugarMate, turn around, come back, and ping this little device and tell us what my blood sugar is. Now, we want to also be clear this is a rough estimation. This number doesn't represent a specific number, it's more of a range. And so, after using this product, I know right now that my blood's not high. It is probably around 167 to 174.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good based off colors. 178. So not too far off.
So I figured because it is this color here, blue, right? So real high is
Purple,
just below that is,
blue.
and then from blue it starts to transition into green.
Like a green, more like a aqua, and then it goes green,
Then it
and
goes to
then
green.
and kind of like oranges a little bit, and then we kind of fade from oranges to that red.
Yeah, it's like green, like goes like kind of like green, yellow,
Yeah, yeah,
orange,
yeah.
red, right? So there's this transition. So there's really like 6, 7 colors that it could be. And once you identify what the colors represent, it's very easy to distinguish them. They're not going to change. So every time you see red, it's like, oh boy, that's low. Every time you see purple or blue, you're like, oh, that I might be running a little high. Like deep purple, let's consider grabbing that insulin or breaking out the pump. We are not trained medical professionals. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Thank you, Brandon. Consult your medical professional
Or your
uh,
caregiver or
about
caretaker.
situations, not necessarily what to do when you see a color here. but more so what this color represents. What do you do when that number shows up? So if you see blue and you're in the 170s range, right? Like I am 178, and you go to your doctor and you're like, hey, I use an insulin pump. Should I be taking a bolus correction for this? You go, that's a great question. Blank. Yes. Blank. Wink. Wink. So that's like, are you having that conversation? I hope so. If not, start it. Get out there. Say you may not be wearing a Dexcom. If you can, not everybody can. If you can, start the conversation. I would do so. Um, the Dexcom system has been very monumental in my development as a diabetic and learning what it is that I should do and how I do those things. So because the Dexcom has been so monumental, and it is now, I now have this opportunity to use that information that is so important to me in a slightly different way. As an artist, color really resonates with me. So I would rather see my blood sugar like this and know roughly where I'm at than have to break my phone out and look at this. I'm so tired of looking at this. And it's so, that's
It's just the hassle of like opening the phone and all of that stuff.
personal preference.
Yeah.
Personal preference.
But I'll say that the other thing is too, what's awesome about having this is something that I had to I mean, I just happened to experience it once we around the time I want to say we first started using it, was that it is that because it does stay connected to the Wi-Fi. So like when I go out and rollerblade and then I get back home, like it's still connected to the Wi-Fi. So the cool thing is if like your kid is at school, and you have this at home, or you have it at work with you, or I think that you can see that without even having to grab a phone. Like that could be on a desk, that could be on
Yeah.
like a teacher's desk, that could be in the nurse's office, that could be in the main office. I think when you look at those type of things, everybody doesn't understand diabetes, but I think, and this is not to be disrespectful, if you're not colorblind, you can simply have an explanation on how the color spectrum works on the glucose, and you can know what that means as it pertains to a student or a child or a teenager or
Yeah.
even an adult, somebody elderly. You know what
Yep.
I mean? So
Yep.
you seeing that. So I think all in all, like it's from personal experience and using it, like I really enjoy it. And then the other kicker is like it's almost like a little night lamp. You got
It's funny you say that.
eight different settings on there, far as how bright it is. And the brightest setting is pretty bright, but it's almost like a soothing night light to me. You know what I mean? Like I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
yeah,
because it's not like strobe effect, like
exactly.
blinking. So it's really a calming, right?
Yeah.
It's still bright enough that
Yeah.
when there are no other lights on in the room, that it illuminates. And so my as I had a partner, she was able to understand what my blood sugar was based on the color, which she picked up right away, right? So she knew if she saw a certain color that I may be having an episode. Um, so just know that it's not just for you, it could also be for your family. So mine is typically with me either in this room where I'm doing work or in my bedroom, which are the only two rooms in my apartment. Um, if you have it where you are most of the time and you go into another area of your house and you're like, boy, I really wish I had another one of those. We definitely have spoken with the team at GLOWCOSE, and they told us that that should be something that we can consider, an option in the future is linking multiple GLOWCOSEs to one account. So having it in two different rooms. So that would be really cool. I
Yeah.
mean, I would instead of having to bring it back and forth, I just want to leave it there.
For sure. For
I
sure.
almost just want it like up in the corner of the room, like all the time, so I can just kind of like peek at it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, we are going to continue talking about this Glow Coast. They are going. You're going to hear their name a lot on season 2. as they are a sponsor here for Bolus Maximus. We are our partners with them moving forward in 2021. Very excited to partner with such a young, like really exciting company that has a lot of room for growth. As we talked about, Brandon brought up a couple of really great examples. Schools, the elderly, at home, caretakers, your kids, right? Think about it. A really big opportunity for you to view a very sensitive piece of information in a slightly different way. We'd
Very cool way.
Yeah. We'd love to answer questions. If you have them for us, please send them over. You can drop them in the comments section. You can reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram, um, or however you feel confident and comfortable doing so. We are here. Again, my name is Matthew Taro.
I'm Brandon A. Denson.
Forrest is over here on the couch. And we are super excited to work with a company like GLOWCOSE. Check out their website, www.glowcose.com, and more information on our website coming soon. Keep it 100. Oh,
Keep it 100.
oh man, I said it too quick. Do it again.
Keep it 100.
Yeah.